wall. I do something very stupid soon. Um, I think I explained in my last video. If you can't see above a ledge, if you don't have a scan or a flying stealthed unit looking above their ledge, you cannot attack the ledge. However, your range of view is much better when you're on the ledge. So here I come for my first attack, and I essentially get decimated. OMFG. That's when I actually said GG, assuming, oh, I just fucked myself. Excuse my French. And lost the game. A little rage for me there too, god damn it. I really thought this was the end of the game. It should have been the end of the game. However, I underestimated the power of the siege tank. The siege tank, which gets so much rage and so much hate on the forums, is not as futile as it appears. So over here I had one siege tank ready to go. Micro my tank's back. He don't know what to do. He's running for his life. He don't know how many tanks I have up there. That's the advantage of the field of view. Not having that field of view, he don't know if there's one tank, two tanks, three tanks, 100 tanks. He don't know. So he's on the run. So I've somehow managed to turn around an offensive. I should have chased right after him. I'm bringing out some SCVs to repair this siege tank here. I was a very gas-starved this game. Even with my quick build to gas, very gas-heavy siege tanks. Cost 150, 125. Siege tank in this version has 150 hit points. And does 60 damage out of his shock cannon. And when there's siege mode, if I could get in siege mode and show you, it's 60 damage in siege mode. I just got pretty much decimated here because these medivacs were healing his Marines, Marauders. Alright, total wipe for me there. Can't outrun that stuff, so and what do we have here? The Mighty Thor, another unit that gets so much rage on the forums. Understandably so. These things pop like bad zits. They do have a tremendous amount of hit points, 400 hit points. They do 45 damage with the Thor's hammer. They do 10 damage with the missile launchers for air. They're massive armored units, and there's a lot of units in the game that counter massive armored units. Believe it or not, they struggle against Zerglings and Zealots. Obviously, cloaked, any Banshee would destroy this thing in a few seconds. Marines, Stimpact, going to do a lot of damage. But if you keep them somewhat protected, they are lethal. So here I am. Got a command center build. Going to rove him out to the 11 o'clock expansion. 10 o'clock expansion. Yeah, I guess so. This would be 9, right? 10. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I'm just trying to be cool by saying that. I'm going to the expansion up there in the middle. You like that? In the middle. Scanned me. Knows I'm coming. Cat's out of the bag about my Thor. That's one thing my opponent did this game, which I'm not a big fan of. I guess it's necessary when people are turtled in. But he used his scan frequently. I guess it makes sense if he has 1,300 minerals. No, that's not the minerals. He has still enough. Enough where I guess he feels he doesn't have to scan. I have 49 production over his 74, under his 74. So he's got me outmassed. If we go to the units here, he's got 6 Marauders, 4 Medivacs, 3 tanks, 22 Marines versus my 15 Marines, 4 siege tanks, and 1 Thor. So I got a heavier army. I definitely have a higher damage output. And I still have my base intact. And I'm pulling on his expansion now. Why he doesn't fly this up? It's not like he's using it. It's a noob mistake on his part. He just flown it up. Granted, the Thor hits air, but one Thor is better than getting hit by 2 siege tanks. So he flies over me with his medivacs. Pop them down. Using my 250 caliber strike cannons, dealing 500 damage over 6 seconds on his command center. Never flies this thing up. What a waste. He could have flown this up and easily flew it into the back of his base. Obviously, I'm not playing against, you know, Platinum League player here. It's not David Kim at the helm. He's got 3 tanks here. He has the siege mode upgraded, but he doesn't use it. He could have been blasting my tanks right now. I use my comstat as a strategic point. I should have used it after I put my tanks in siege mode, but I use them to get a range, and I push his tanks away. His siege is up. You can see his range here. Very cool feature. It shows you how far your cannons can shoot. If I use my comstat, I could see about right here. Then there we go. I'm using it. Very nice.